All right, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to RCM On Tap for this Friday, April 3rd in 2015. We have a very, very special episode planned for you tonight because tonight in RCM, it is Ladies' Night. So I have some very special guests planned for you this evening. First of all, please join me in welcoming, as soon as I can find her. Oh God, where'd she go? There she is. Vampy Soul Taker! Woo!
Hi!
And of course, no ladies' night would be complete without our favorite HR representative. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mysti from HR! Woo!
Just to let you boys know, I'm up here. I'm just saying.
Now, tonight's going to
Rabble
go...
rousing.
You know it. You know it, Mysti. You put those boys in their place. You don't have to put up with their garbage.
It's what I do. It's what I get paid for.
Well, that's
and I love what I do. So
That's true. That's true. All right, so we're doing things a little bit differently tonight. Men and women tend to communicate a little bit differently. So instead of planning ahead and having set topics, we just decided we were going to try an experiment tonight, see how things go. So, because we are warrior women, we have the Viking helmet of awesomeness filled with little slips of paper corresponding to questions that we're going to be responding to throughout the night. So to get us started, the very first question that we decided on was as follows. What book are you reading right now? Let me stare down the camera for a second so you know how serious I am with this. And I'll start it off. People who watch the show frequently know that I am a very huge reader. I mean, I have my little book on me at all times. I can't live without my Kindle. It's just awesome. And everyone at Barnes & Noble and all of the local bookstores know me by name and by sight. So it's a beautiful thing. I usually get whatever I want when I go in there, too. It's awesome. But anyway, so I've always got a couple of things that I'm reading. One of them right now is I'm rereading the Tao of Pooh, which is like a Middle Eastern philosophy slant on Winnie the Pooh. It's actually very, very good. And yes, Killer, I'm almost through with Ready Player One. Finally! I only started in November. It's just taken a while. So. Mysti?
Well, I'm sorry. I was looking at the degrading comments I'm already getting in the chat, which is fine because I'm used to haters, so whatever, Edge. See if you have access by the end of the night. I'm just saying. And
it begins.
No, I've been recently reading the graphical novel of A Wrinkle in Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty well done. It's not as good as the original material, but it's pretty cool. I like it.
What do you like most about it?
Well, it's just thinking of how it takes to adapt the story, and let me plot some pages here as an example.
Well, don't pull out the pages because, the binding is sort of like what makes a book a book. Just saying. Oh.
So it kind of has the tone that matches, just kind of this blue hue throughout it, which, in the world that they start in, it's very, very manufactured, very everything runs in time and sequence kind of thing. So it really did a good job with the way the art fits the environment. So yeah, I like it.
Very neat. And it's blue, and it matched that, it coordinates with Vampy's hair, which just makes things just that much more awesome this evening. I know you can't really go much with that. Vampy, what are you reading? I'm trying here. I'm not used to not having a killer to make comments and, keep me off topic.
Actually, I'm one of those horrible people that I read 6 books at a time. So
what's horrible about that?
Because it takes
Welcome
me
to my
to
tribe. I'm so excited.
Currently, actually on audiobook, I'm rereading In the Heart of the Sea. Mm-hmm. It's the story of the whale ship Essex, which is what Moby Dick was based on. And then I was so happy when I found Anna Karenina. I have never actually read this, and I found it at the antique store, so I was happy about
How
that.
cool
It's
is
actually
that?
a very cool book. I read it last spring because
Um, they said the sound went out.
Hey, wake up.
This is just what I would expect from the patriarchy. I'm just putting that out there. Baron, what you're doing in your own household is not okay. I wasn't here last week, so I don't know. Um, let's see here.
Did you try pulling your mic thing out and putting it back in again?
it's because I just muted the. I usually don't have the live stream up, but since we don't have Killer there to make sure that we have sound, I turned it off, and that's as soon as I did that is when they said they couldn't hear me again. So yeah, there's that. So
Apparently, your
let's.
husband said the sound is back.
Yay. Well, my stream isn't caught up with his, so that's amazing. So fantastic! Let's try this all over again. So I don't even know what we're talking about now. Fantastic.
My last book that I'm
Mm.
reading is Infinity by Sherilyn Kenyon. There we go. That's the list.
Yay! So what's that about? Because I haven't heard of that one yet.
Actually, it's kind of like a junk novel. I love everything that she writes, though. I just eat it up just constantly. It's a book about a teenage boy finding out that he has powers, that he's actually a Malachi demon, instead of just like a human boy. And it's based in the whole world of the series that she does. And there's tons of books in the series, so it's kind of hard to get in depth about what it is. But it's a vampire book.
Ooh. There's nothing wrong with that, despite what Baron says. Don't let him judge you.
It's not Twilight. They do not fucking sparkle.
I did read Twilight.
It's always important. They don't sparkle.
Hi, Tree.
Hello, everyone. All right. So we've got some interesting combinations going on here. So I'm always so happy when I meet people that read multiple things at the same time because it makes me feel less like I'm crazy or have ADD or something. So, I'm trying to think because I know there was something else that I was reading too recently, but I've tried to pare down the books a little bit just because I still have a stack from Christmas that I haven't even touched yet. So, but I'm almost caught up on Mental Floss too. I had some back issues going with that, which is very, very rare, but I'm just about caught up with that too. Fantastic. All right. Let's go ahead and I don't even know what they're talking about in chat.
Randomize.
Randomizing. We do have a special question picked out for Varyar at the very end, though. So if I accidentally pull
Yes.
its number, we're going to. All right. So the next question, question number 14. Which let's go to our list and figure out what 14 is. Oh, this ought to be good. Which past lover would you most like to get revenge on, and how? Which past lover would you most like to get revenge on, and how? Let me pop that up there. Mysti,
Scandalous.
Mysti, do you have
Scandalous.
any skeletons in your closet that you feel comfortable sharing? Remember, we're in a safe space here, so
We are in a safe space. That's true, and I'm just want to say right off the bat here that I'm happy to be with such strong, independent women, as long as you share my opinion. So just keep that in mind. Past lovers I'd like to get revenge on. My last one didn't turn out very well,
I can't imagine why.
so yeah. So why? When you say, I guess one thing I have a problem with is being double-faced about things. So, seeing somebody you've known for so long who then, is saying the complete opposite thing of what they're saying to you in person to their friends and all that. So, I have at least one or two that did that. So, yeah, I would love to get revenge for that.
Okay, so how would you do it? I mean, this is just us
Oh,
talking.
I can't talk about that on the air. I'm just saying.
Being that you are the HR rep and all. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I can
We
understand
do
that.
have rules at RivalCast Media that do protect us from.
The only
from
rule that we
stepping out of
have are
line.
we don't admit to felonies on the air, so wow.
I'm just saying it may have happened.
I'm just saying that's a dark side of you that I've never well, no, I can't really say that. I've seen you in the same room as Edge before. Okay. Interesting. All right. Vampy.
One, when you asked me this question, the answer I gave was, I'm surprised you don't think I've already done it. Which I have.
I was going to pull the question
And-
too, and you were like, no, I want to answer that one. I'm like, okay. We're in our safe space.
And how I did it, I stole his computer.
Oh,
wow.
That's alright, he stole my truck, so.
Well, depending on the type of computer and depending on the type of truck, it might have been an even trade, but
Yeah, it pretty much was.
yeah, that happens. Well, my great act of revenge wasn't even technically mine, but what happened was, when I was in high school, so this was before I moved back to my hometown, so I saw my friends fairly frequently, but we didn't live in the same place for a while. And so I started kind of sort of seeing a friend of mine. It was long distance and stuff, you're 15, it doesn't really, whatever. But what I didn't know at the time was that he had an actual girlfriend that he saw in the hometown. So he was kind of pulling double duty there, and I ended up finding out about it through a mutual friend. I was just mortified because it's like, oh great, now first guy I'm kind of sort of dating. It's like now I'm the other woman. That's fantastic. So I wasn't sure how to deal with it. I thought about it for a while, and it's like, you know what? If the situation were flipped, I would. Oh, we lost Mysti for a second. Well, she'll be back. My thought was, if the situation were flipped, I would want to know. So, I got an introduction. I introduced myself to this girl. I was like, hey, I just wanted you to know that, this is what happened. I had no idea that he was dating you, so I'm very sorry. It's over, whatever. But I would want to know if I were in your position. So, I just wanted to do that. So she was very kind about it. She's like, thank you for letting me know, and, I will deal with it. So 3 days later, I got an email message with pictures attached. She's like, took care of it.
Yes.
Pictures attached. So what had happened was this guy was a manager of one of the chain pharmacies in our town, in my hometown. So what she did is she got all of her girlfriends together, told them what had happened and what I had told her. So on a Saturday when he was working by himself, they took turns. Each one of them in turn went in, bought a giant package of maxi pads, only that, wrung it out, and then just left. And then like a couple minutes later, the next one would go in, and so forth and so on. Now, this kid's pride and joy was this car that he had sitting in the parking lot.
Oh, yes.
Just out of view of the store window. So he couldn't see quite see
I like where this
is
is going.
So the pictures that she sent me were each of her friends went in turn, bought this giant pack of maxi pads, stared them in the eye, only bought that, came back out, and then they maxi padded the entire car. Top to bottom, the windows, the paint job, everything, took pictures. And then for the finishing touch, she put the breakup letter right underneath the windshield wiper. It was very nicely done. Yes. So technically it wasn't my revenge per se, but I was included in it, sisterhood. Sisters
That's
before
right.
mistas, So it was entertaining. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I haven't really had a whole lot of that I've felt the need to get revenge on. But yeah, he definitely deserved it, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Totally did.
I'm really wondering what you did now, Misty. I'm just saying. I mean, off air, you and I we gotta talk. You know it. Let me see. What's chat? Edge is no longer evil bio. That's nice. Brother pictures. The car. Edge says at least that car will never leak. Well, that's true.
That is true.
He
That's
makes
true.
a good point. Baron says make it a hypothetical story, Misty. And Tree is saying, yeah, dish.
Really?
But you know what?
A hypothetical story?
You know what? We're in our safe zone, so if Misty doesn't want to talk about it, Misty doesn't have to talk about it. And you guys really
I'm not comfortable with doing this. And,
I mean,
yeah,
my
you
God.
guys do not need to force yourself on me. You are just enforcing a culture.
You just
that I am
walk
totally
yourself
against.
into our discussion and think that you can just make demands on my show. Whatever. Show him your shirt. Yeah, up here. So anyway.
Up here.
Yeah, I'm still turning pink.
It's easy to understand.
Pink as your hair. Wow. All right. So next question from the magic. Oh crap! My warrior braid's getting caught in my helmet. Which one's that one?
Yeah, which one?
Acheron.
Hello,
Acheron. Oh.
Acheron, probably.
Acheron is adorable.
He looks like he has some stories. All right.
I think you just went muted again, just as a
It'll be fantastic. Amazing, in fact. See, it's I
I
wouldn't even.
told you,
I
it's
wouldn't even.
there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call him an ex. It's just they're trying to mute my voice.
Mhm.
They're trying to mute me. This is
Well,
terrible.
don't worry, girl. You sound off. You sound off, girl.
Don't tell him sound off, because then the computer's gonna think
You
that
know
that
what I
means
mean.
like.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
but it doesn't know what you mean. I'm just saying. Also, your curls are very distracting. I'm just saying. I only wish
What
I
the
could
guys
have hair
like
that
best.
beautiful. How do you pull
But you
it
know what?
off?
These are not for you. These are not for you. I love that kitty cat. Kinda
Baron
gonna steal it
says
from
it's
you after
back.
the show.
Yay. All right. So anyway, the strangest date I ever went on was a blind date that was set up actually by actually at the time she was Baron's ex-girlfriend. And it was a very he was described as, right up my alley, a lot of the same interests. Those were all lies. They were just blatant lies. Like, okay, I like to
That
read.
never happens on a blind date, right?
There was nothing truthful stated about this person before. Okay, no, time out. He was male. That was the only truthful statement that was put forward to this. So, yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, is that what you guys have in common? Because no judgment here.
It was college. I mean, whatever.
Totally, yeah.
My roommate was, but anyway, yeah.
Your husband apparently knows who this is already.
No, I don't. Oh, yeah, well, he's met him. He's met him, actually. But yeah, loves to read, educated, does, whatever geeky things, okay, him, no interest in school whatsoever, hates books, hates most things, yeah, Confederate flag on his truck. We lived in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was part of the Union, not the Confederacy. Just saying, guys. So first date, I don't remember where we went for dinner, but he took me to a Vin Diesel action flick for the first thing.
Okay.
And we sat right under the speakers because that's where the boom comes. So yeah, it didn't last very long, but it was just we tried very, very hard just to make enough conversation to at least say that we put forth the effort. But it was very clear from the onset that no, just no. We should have just stopped and just called it quits at the beginning. But no. So it was very, very strange. Very strange. Oh, and then when he went to walk me back to my car, because, blind dates, nobody's picking me up. We're meeting in a central place where it's, well lit and yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Non-creepy.
Yeah, exactly. So even though it's in a very public place, non-creepy, he goes to walk me back to my car because it's nighttime, whatever. And every security person in I think the Tri-County area was converging, hey, Baroness, how are things? Who is this person that you're with? Because it's just because apparently he had some, trouble with the law too. So okay.
Lovely.
Yeah. I didn't find out about that until after the fact.
How many parole agents met you over there? Oh yeah, that's my parole officer.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is we all knew the same officers, but for different reasons. So yeah, that was a very odd night. Also, not a Vin Diesel fan. Not a Vin Diesel fan. Just saying.
Yeah, although it's hilarious that he's a total nerd, apparently.
Vin Diesel?
Oh yeah, he's way into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. He still has a character sheet that he's been playing that character forever and such. And
he wrote the forward for the last edition, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
That is actually.
Yeah, he's really into that.
Sweet.
He played WoW for a while. I don't know if he still does, but he definitely did play WoW for a
okay.
while with his D&D's character's name, if I recall. Could be wrong there.
That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I mean, I've never met Vin Diesel, so I can't say that I wouldn't like him as a person. I just, his movies just not.
It's the movies. He gets put in really hyper masculine roles, and it's just action films. Just what happens.
So you're saying that Vin Diesel needs to, have his agent put him in something a little less in your face?
Yeah. They
See
should
if he
put
can
him in
expand
a
him.
romantic comedy. I'm just saying.
How would
saying.
that look, Misty? I'm just saying. Your Vin Diesel romantic comedy. I'm just trying to see how this
you
would
want me to
go.
go there?
Yeah,
You want me to go there? Okay. So he's just, a down on your luck single father, Maybe his wife died at some point prior to the movie. And he runs into this pink-haired goddess who's just like...
She just tosses those curls and rocks his world.
Yes,
I love it.
She rocks it.
I love it. That sounds like I would go to see that. I would go to see.
Oh, totally.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than once.
With my girlfriends, because
it's the only way to go.
or Twitch chat. Shame on you. They just don't understand. They just don't.
They don't, and that's fine. I don't expect men to understand anything, so it's all good. But the chat did make a good point that he was Groot, and that was one of the really interesting things is that he actually recorded those lines and had to show just a full array of different expressions and such. So he's pretty talented. Plus, he did the if I recall, he did the motion capture as well. So they put him on stilts and stuff. So willing to put in the work. It's kind of cool.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, hopefully we can petition him to, expand his horizons even more, because I would definitely be all about going to see that. Not just explosions and monster trucks and, fast cars with crazy, and creepy pseudo Confederates taking me out to see him. Thank you, Baron, for that. But anyway. Vampy, what's some of the weirder dates that you've been on?
This is actually a very difficult question for me because I haven't been on many dates, actually, honestly. I tend to be one of those people that I do relationships, so it's like long relationships. So,
that's fine.
The weirdest one I can really ever think was being taken to a cow pasture for a walk.
Ew.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So it wasn't like you were on a farm and just doing something and there just happened to be a pasture. You were taken
this was
to
like
the
I was literally
pasture.
taken to the pasture and to go for a walk.
It's a little
Oddest
creepy
thing
too.
ever.
Just saying.
I'm just
a lot of
thinking
things can happen out there.
Well, we're glad that you were safe. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Obviously.
I'm just thinking about the news article I was reading.
Just waiting on Akron to pop
actually
up there.
Last week before On Tap about they found a body in a field near where I walk on a regular basis, and the last murder that was in our hometown was I forget how many years ago they said it was, but it was somebody had bludgeoned someone to death with a 10-pound jar of pickles. So it's a little interesting.
Pickles? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Lyserg was in there. We had this long discussion about how one would kill someone with a jar of pickles, and we had to pull up how big the 10-pound jars of them were, and it was you could see how that would happen.
They're pretty big.
Well, lands in the right place.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. So, yeah, that's definitely strange, and we're glad that things turned out okay. Misty, you don't look like you go on. I mean, I'm not judging or anything. You just look like you're more of a relationship kind of gal too.
Well, yeah, a little bit. I did kind of get set up on a blind date too once. That was a little bit awkward. So she showed up. I was visiting a friend in Queens, and they were like, "Oh, so much in common," kind of like how your story kind of started up. She showed up, and one of the other roommates she was more interested in than me. And she showed up. Well, the other roommate was wanting to set this up and be great because we're compatible. We had matching star signs and all this stuff, and everything was just going to be great. And we played Hello Kitty Uno. I wish I were joking there. Yeah. not even joking. It's like who plays Hello Kitty Uno as a as a blind date? Yeah, so we did that, and wine bottle was not empty fast enough, in my opinion. That day needed to get over with quick. Oh yes, tell me about it. So yeah, we got through that, and unfortunately, by the time we finished everything, it was too late for her to take the subway out, so she stayed for the night. Crashed on the couch.
It's the blind date that just won't end.
It was weird. So I kept, like, when it got to the morning, it was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm like walking into the kitchen to get some water and stuff, and I'm looking. I'm like, why is she still here? Why is she still here? When is she gonna leave?
It gets to the point where you're doing the walk of shame out of your own apartment.
Exactly. Yeah.
My God.
No, well, and it ended on a funny note, because the other roommate actually chewed her out a couple of days later over it.
A couple days?
Well, because they worked together. So no. So she left. She left that day.
Oh.
They worked together. So she was just like, how dare you? You had something good that you could have gone for, and you just totally blew it and all that. And then she sent an apology through the friend who had set it up, saying that I could totally go to her birthday party if I wanted. I didn't go. Just saying.
How do you even respond to that?
There's nothing. There's nothing you can do. And I guarantee, because the person who set this up is watching and laughing right now, and I hold no grudge over it at all. But wow, that was kind of awkward.
I'm gonna need a minute. Oh my. Yeah, I can't top that. I can't top that.
No.
Oh my.
Well, at least I wasn't,
Well,
at least I had friends around me. I wasn't out in a cow pasture or whatever, or had like parole
But
officers
she wouldn't
coming
leave
up.
your apartment. It's like, okay, Hello Kitty's done.
I would
Bye
have rather
now.
been in that pasture than have someone in my house that I couldn't get out.
Well, we played apples to apples as well during it, and it became apparent while playing that, just like I don't care for this person at all.
Because at least in the cow pasture I can run.
That's a good point.
I suppose I could have run too. I'd
It's
found
like a
a
vampire. Once you let him in, you're screwed.
maybe she was. That's frightening. I did not think about that until now.
I can't even. Oh my God, we need another question, I think.
I
before
think so
this
too.
gets before this gets
So I
any
just got a message from the friend on Skype who set that up, and was reminding me that the other girl who chewed out the blind date still thinks highly of me to this day.
I'm just saying,
Because I thanked her
friends,
afterwards. Like, after everyone left, it was like, thanks for trying. It didn't work out.
blind dates
know?
are never a good idea, ever. I mean, if you want to introduce somebody, do it in a safe setting, like what we're doing right now. Do it in a safe setting, bring them in, see how they hit it off. Don't be pushing anything. It doesn't work out. It just doesn't.
Does not. Totally doesn't.
But to be fair, the same friend / Baron's ex-girlfriend who set me up on said crazy blind date. And he tried. I mean, this wasn't the guy's fault. This was just definitely like, I don't know what she was thinking, because, I mean, he was very nice. It's just we had absolutely nothing in common. But
yeah, it was the same for me.
To her credit, she is the reason that I met Baron in the first place, because when she came back from whatever convention that was that I was supposed to be on with them, and I was sick because I had the chicken pox and I was recovering from that. When we got back to class, I remember very clearly when she walked in the student union, she said, "I've met the perfect guy for you. He is smart, he is handsome, he is funny as hell, he is into all the same things you are, he's into that geeky stuff that you are. That little show that you like, that with the little people, yeah, he was dressed up as one of those little, the moon people, I think is how she phrased it. and going on and on and on. I was like, okay, so what's the catch? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, yeah, she had already set me up on blind date with creepy guy. But not creepy guy. I shouldn't say things like that. But anyway, that had already happened. So I was like, so what's the catch? And she's like, oh, I'm dating him. I was like, yep. See, that's how things go. That's why
Wow.
that's why we're not like close like our group here is. Just saying. But she was right. He was perfect for me. All right.
Aw.
All right. I know. I don't give him enough credit, even if he is a guy. So question 12.
Question 12.
Oh, this is my favorite one of all. I've been waiting since... I'm not even joking. Okay, so when we started talking about doing On Tap, so this is like even like having a name or a setup or anything. When we started talking about like how would we go about this, what sort of questions would we ask? This is one of the very first questions that I've always wanted to ask somebody, but it's never ever ever been in an appropriate situation to ask. So now
I'm scared.
in our safe zone with my
I'm
best
scared.
girlfriends. The question is, hold on, let me pop it up here. What is under your bed right now?
Who do you want to start with that? Do you want to start? Because you've just been hyped up
Yeah.
about it.
No, I need mine to be at the end.
Okay.
I'll let you know right off. Mine's normal, like socks and tie-down straps, so nothing exciting there.
Okay. Cats occasionally, I would assume.
Yeah, occasionally.
You're just like
The
sleeping
tie-down
there
straps get in the way, though.
all of a sudden you just feel like burp, 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 burp. My cats used to do that too. Poor little
Well,
thing.
I can get some things right quick and show you.
Okay.
Okay, be right back.
She just wants to show off her shirt again. You know, she keeps talking about, her body, her right, but, while she's away and can't hear me. I don't know. It's like she just wants them to see her shirt. I mean, welcome back, Mysti.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back,
So
Loki.
first off, I have the Patriarchy Smasher 3000.
Oh my.
Yeah, you're gonna get the business into this if you think you can come into my place and take advantage of me. I'm just saying. So I've got that, and I didn't bring them over here, but I have some lab goggles
Okay.
from when I was taking chemistry. I just haven't put them up yet. And
So you
then
just
I
put them in
have... Trying to think if they're under there still or not, but I have the collection of Calvin and Hobbes.
Aw.
Yeah, I have that tucked away under there because I just don't have space on my bookshelf to put it anywhere. So, yep,
Understand.
that's what I got. No bodies. There are other places where the bodies are.
Taco rules, I'm just saying. Just saying. Which reminds me that the taco truck guys came back to my workplace today, and I'm so excited about that. That is how you know that spring has truly
Indeed.
sprung in Cleveland.
Indeed.
Is when the taco truck comes back on Friday afternoons, because Brian the taco guy is so awesome. He's so funny. He just stops in Friday morning. He's like, hi Baroness. So anyway, so I don't have.
Wait. So he comes looking directly for you,
Well, yeah, because I work
and you
at.
admitted this on air. I mean, I'm just checking. I mean, Baron, just saying.
No.
You may want to disconnect for a while because it's not your business.
I probably could explain this very easily because it is very, very innocent. But yeah, we're just gonna let it ride. Why not? It's more fun that way.
Oh, do we have double kitty now? We have like one in the background and
Yeah, Loki's back there.
Loki's just
double
like
kitty. What does
he's
it
like
mean?
kneading on your blanket or whatever back there. He's just like very
My sweater.
excited. Yeah,
He's just chill.
he knows we're
Chilling
talking
out.
about him.
I'm
Yeah, he
surprised
just
Derek
looked
hadn't
over
come.
like, "How you doing?"
Hello. But yeah, I don't have an under the bed at the moment. Which is sad. We used to when we lived in the apartment, because space is always at a premium there. We used to like it was actually up a little bit higher because we had storage boxes and stuff that we put under there, but the cats kept getting in there and just crawling up inside the box springs because they would rip it open and stuff, and it was just very very awkward. You're lying there on a Sunday morning, you're just waking up, the birds are singing. You're like, oh, I'm so comfortable and I don't have to get out of bed. And the next thing you're feeling is like, on your on your back. It's like, what the fuck is that? It was very disturbing, especially when they were kittens, and there were two of them because we'd had one cat for the longest time, and then when he passed away, we adopted the kittens. And yeah, they would get into everything, and it was just very, yeah, wasn't
It's what they
working.
do.
And then when we moved into the house, like the bed that we got, the way our staircase is curved, it didn't fit right. So the bed itself is in the garage, but the mattress and everything are upstairs. So yeah, I don't have an under the bed anymore. We used to tell stories about this is dumb. I'm just gonna stop now. Before
No, it's a safe
well,
space.
we
Come on.
we used to tell like stories because you know how when you're a little kid and you're afraid of the monsters that are under your bed. Well,
Little kid.
we
You mean like yesterday?
Yeah.
works out. I mean, I'm not talking about cats, just monsters generally. We were drunk one night, and I mean, like we'd had a couple of bottles of very good wine, just the two of us. And somehow or another got to talking about how one of, and I won't say which side it was on, but one of us had a coworker that looked very much like Tom Cruise, like right down like the hair, the demeanor, the height, everything. Um, and somehow that morphed into because it was we were talking about how creepy Tom Cruise was, and how we couldn't stop thinking about it every time we were interacting with this one person. So it turned into that Tom Cruise was really the monster under the bed, and so there was a running joke for the longest time about that. So so when we moved into the house and we couldn't have, the bed wouldn't fit up the staircase, which still just boggles my mind because the mattresses do just fine. It's just, and it's like an inch, no, well, maybe 2 inch difference.
So is it
Size
like
does
that?
matter. I'm just saying, 2 inches makes a big
It's
difference.
true. It's kind of true. Just
So
saying.
so yeah, so we're safe from Tom Cruise being under the bed since we don't get to have an under the bed.
So was it like kind of like South Park, where it's like, come out of the closet, Tom.
kind of.
Come out from
Only,
under the
only
bed, Tom.
under the bed. You wouldn't be able to fit Tom Cruise in our closets in the apartment. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, it was
Yeah.
kind of some tight space. You make the most use of every inch that you've got when you're living in an apartment, and if you don't, then you're just foolish. Definitely don't miss apartment days. But
No, definitely not.
yes. So. All right. Well, it's 10:14 right now, so we've got about 15 more minutes, and I do want to keep it kind of on time because starting tonight, the RivalCast is actually going to be broadcasting right after our show at roughly 10:45-ish, so I want to make sure that they have time to do what they need to do. But I think we have time for another question before we get into Vampy's favorite. So let's pull one more. We had some really good questions in here too, so I think we'll keep. Okay, question 5. Oh, this is an interesting one. Do women dress for men or for other women?
Ooh.
So we're getting all philosophical now here.
It's about to get real up in this chat.
Yes, let me pop it up. So, in your opinion, do women dress for men or do they dress for other women? And Mysti, do you want to take point on this, or do you want me to have my?
I think it depends on the circumstance. Like, a lot of the time I'm just dressing for myself when I go out because I feel good. I don't know. On a date and stuff, I'd like to think it's for the date kind of thing. But at the same time, I don't know.
See, I'm actually...
It could be internalized that I'm actually, trying to tell everybody else to step off. I mean,
Okay,
it's a tricky thing. So I think it's a little bit of both, and it just depends on the circumstance.
Okay, so just to kind of, so I understand what you are saying, and that's a very nice mug, by the way. I meant to tell you that earlier. It complements the purple of your shirt just beautifully. So what you're saying is you start dressing kind of with your date in mind, but it's more of a, this is who I am, and so you're trying to like give a warning sign to other ladies, or just let them know that you're friendly and
they can't handle me.
Okay.
They cannot handle me. So I mean,
so that's where I thought you were going. I just wanted to make sure.
Just heads up, ladies. You do not know how to handle me.
I don't think.
Are we going back to HR puff and stuff?
If we... Okay, so if we got to answer one or the other, I'm going to say for other women.
No, I think it's fair to say that it's a little bit of both. I mean, there are definitely times where, like you said, you're in the courtship mode, so you're like, okay, well, either you're meeting someone for the first time and you want to put your best face forward or whatever, or I don't know. I've never really. No, that's not true. In most cases, I didn't really bother to dress up exceptionally for dates, just because most of the people that I went out on dates with the exception of, the blind date that just went horribly wrong, I actually knew ahead of time, so it was like I didn't feel like I needed to put forth the extra effort and prove anything. With the exception of being, times like if you're going somewhere fancy or something like that, you like to put on a little extra girly. But really, that wasn't for the date so much as for, well, you want to say for me, but I'll be honest. In those sorts of situations, I like to walk into the room and know immediately that I own that room. So, dress the part that you want to play, if that helps. I don't know, Vampy, what do you think?
I pretty much agree with you. If I get dressed up and I go and do everything, I'm both for men and women, and it's my room, and work the fucking thing if you got it. So, but most days I just dress to be comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not for men or women. It's just to be comfortable.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, we've had this conversation before. I'm not. My morning routine. I get up, I get showered, and I'm out the door in 15 minutes. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't really play around with my hair a whole lot, which I'm feeling kind of self-conscious about tonight because you guys look fabulous, and I'm just kind of hiding behind my headset and my little poofies. I can't get over those curls, Misty. I'm so sorry. I can't get over those curls. What's kind of, I think I figured out what's bothering me about it so much is when I was a teenager. And my mom was kind of worried about me for a while because I was never into makeup. I was never into, getting the fancy shoes, or like my sister was very into fashion and stuff, and I just wasn't. But the one thing that she let me do, and then I chickened out at the last minute. When I turned 13, I wanted to have a streak put in my hair because I have natural highlights that grow in, but they're like, at that age, they were like super blonde. I mean, like almost white blonde, and it just looked ridiculous. So I wanted to dye it like a bright color, like, fuchsia or, electric blue or whatever. And she's like, oh, when you turn 13, that's fine. You're not doing your entire head, you're just doing a little streak. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And that kind of morphed into, because I chickened out on that one. When I turned 14, I was like thinking about, okay, well, what do I want to do with my hair? I'd already cut it short. I was thinking like curls and red, like not like red, Elmo red, or I don't want to say Elmo's name.
Elmo red.
Oh God, trigger. Oh, sorry. I'm just
go pet a kitten.
After I need a
Stat.
kitten. Where is a kitten? I wish there were a kitten nearby. I'm just after that whole thing with my friend Biomed, I'm just, anytime I see that little red bastard, I just
Kitten.
You have to
yay!
admit though that Bio kind of had it coming.
That's not true. Bio's just a sweet, sweet person, and if I know that you and he have had your problems, but you know what? It's not his fault that he wasn't into you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, he has a very. It's nothing against you either. I'm just.
Mm-hmm.
I can't continue this conversation because I know. I know.
Yeah, we'll just have to talk after about that.
Well,
Yeah.
we are just gonna have to talk after about that. But what was I even talking about? Oh yes, my hair. So. So yeah, so I was thinking like an auburn with the curls and stuff, and the curls that you have going on are actually my sister had this software. It was one of the first computer programs that we had. We had the Lego pizza game that I talked about. Its title is escaping my brain at the moment. We had that. We had Mavis Speak and Teach Us Typing, and we had this photo makeover software that my sister got. Those were the three programs that we had on our computer. And for her thing, you could upload your picture and you could put like different hair and makeup and stuff on it. And that was the hair that I chose, was actually the style of your hair. So I'm jealous of it. I'm jealous of it. I'll just be honest. We can do that. So.
Well, let me tell you, you really work hard when it's time for Ghost in the Podcast on Sundays, and I think you pull it off. So don't be hard on yourself, okay?
You're gonna make me blush as pink as your
Just saying.
pink as your
Just
hair
saying.
again. I'm just saying. So, all right. So this actually segues nicely into our very last question of the evening, and this is one. This is one that it actually
made mandatory.
It was made mandatory. It actually, when I was going through the list, because what we did was we pulled from Table Topics, the Girls' Night edition, for this experiment, and what we did is we went through the entire deck and pulled out the ones that were, the relevant questions that we wanted to answer. If we were going to have these things pop up, what was going to be a fun thing to ask and answer. And so this particular topic actually came up on 3 separate cards that we pulled from the deck. But it was the same question, just kind of very similarly done. So the question is, let me get it pulled and pop it into the thing. But this is Vampy's one. She said we absolutely have to talk about it on air because it's her favorite. What is your most favorite pair of shoes that you have ever owned? And I know this is a tough one because, as women, we just love our shoes very much. And
Definitely.
I know. I don't even limit it to like outdoor shoes. I mean, if you look at just the slippers that I have to wear around the house, it's ridiculous. I've got bunny slippers, I've got piggy slippers. Right now, and I realize I'm wearing my yoga pants, but if I fall off of my chair, I don't actually do yoga. I just do yoga pants and mimosas. But anyway, no judging as I fall off the back here, but these are my
those are
slippers right now.
adorable.
I know, and they're so soft and comfortable too. But I mean, I have fun with it, and I just love them. So, my favorite shoes though, because I can't wear heels. I have a couple of pairs. I mean, they're cute, but we were talking about this before the show started. I've only worn them on a few occasions, just because I can't wear them very much. But my very favorite ones are these ones right here. They're my LL Beans that are very neat because I can wear them to work. They're cute. They go with everything. I have them in like 5 different colors. I'm not even joking about that. But they've got these nice like thick rubber soles and traction and stuff too, so I can go hiking after work. I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
And you know why? Because girls can do that. I don't even have to change. It's fantastic. So those are my absolute favorites of all of my shoes, and I have tons of them. So Misty, what sort of shoes do you like?
I don't really care for shoes when I'm at home or anything. I like to go barefoot or in socks. I mean, the thing I like about high heels is that I can always put it to the throat of a man and put pressure if I have to. So, there is that.
Oh, those block heels you had on last week were just adorable too, and just the way that you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, just I forgot where I even picked those up. So yeah, I mean, I think that in many ways, shoes are kind of like a social construct that people make to kind of drain us from our interest from other things, as well as like our money. Taking that away from pursuits we could do, like funding my Patreon. I'm just saying.
We're going to be on opposite sides of the fence here, Misty.
And that's fine.
And I'm going to throw all of my shoes at you, which is going to hurt.
Oh, this is going to go
This
down.
is where the conversation happens, and I'm cool with it. It's just that's how I feel.
I should probably mention that pre-show. I mean, we're all friends here at RivalCast. I mean, we're very inclusive. We try to support each other as best we can. We do on occasion have some tiffs. If anyone saw the argument between myself and the Elite Hackster the other day regarding Misty's policy suggestions, you'll understand, how even good friends can just, really get into it sometimes. And so pre-show, when we started talking about this, and I don't even know if I should mention this. I know it's kind of a touchy subject, but I don't know if Misty didn't realize that Vampy's boyfriend was Vampy's boyfriend, but Vampy felt a little perturbed by the way that Misty bounced her curls in B's direction. So things got a little tense for a minute, but thankfully they calmed down, and hopefully that isn't going to ramp up, during our conversation about something as delightful as shoes.
That's fine.
I'm a little concerned. I mean, not to call you out or anything. I'm just, there was some definite tension in the room, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that it's resolved now. Right?
Yeah, the thing that's important is that, a bunch of strong, independent women are in a room together, that we got to make sure that we're a combined force, because outside of this room, tons of people don't care about our opinions. They just hear "nyeh, nyeh, nyeh." That's what they always say, and I'm just here to say that is not okay. It is not acceptable. So yeah, we'll have our spats, but I mean, get over it. We're BFFs again, so there you go.
All right,
let's. What are your thoughts on shoes?
It's all right. I still love you, Misty. Well, I'm one of those people. I have very large feet, so whenever I find a pair of shoes that fit me, I have to buy them.
More to rock.
Exactly. Huh? We accept all body types here, even feet.
Yeah.
I know.
It's all good.
But all of my friends tell me I should make a shoe museum due to the fact of I have a lot of outlandish and pretty crazy shoes.
Did you bring a sampling? Because I definitely want to see these.
I did. And these are for Baroness. These are my second favorite pair.
Sweet.
But
those are amazing.
I love my little gopher brogue.
See, I would, if I could find a pair like that in my size, I think I would wear those to go dancing, because I would just have so much fun with that. Granted, I'd probably step on my partner's feet a few times, and those are very painful, but,
But my absolute favorite pair of shoes are my leopard print wedges. And these are actually very comfortable, and yes, I can run in them.
Woohoo!
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
That's always a very good way to know if a shoe is going to work out for you. Is, can you hike in them? Can you run in them? Can you do various things in them?
And they're soft and suede.
Oh.
How hard is the heel on it?
It's
Could
solid.
you put it across the throat if ever needed?
No, but I could probably knock someone out with it on the back of the head.
That counts too.
I've used heels.
Just a warning, B.
They're really light, so you can throw them really well too.
I'm just saying, B. You better stay in line.
I didn't bring them down, but
They're coming for you.
I actually do have a pair of they're the block heel Mary Janes.
Hmm?
But I mean it's a lower heel, but it's like a nice wide, like, I don't know, probably 3'3". And there was a situation once where when I was at work, and this is using my engineering skills here. We needed a hammer like immediately, and of course we couldn't find a hammer anywhere, so we ended up using the block heel.
Hey, that works.
It did.
Very
It worked
versatile.
very well, and the guys were just amazed because they were like, "Oh, what do? We need to do this and blah blah blah. We don't have the tools." So I was just like, "Get out of my way!" Bam. It worked. It was nice.
Very versatile. You can open a wine bottle with shoes too.
Yeah. Also a very useful thing to do.
Also a very useful tool.
All right. Did you have any others for us? I know that
I didn't
I'm
want to
so-
bring
you're
my
distracting me
whole-
now because Loki's right behind you, and the way that he's positioned is like his ears are going right above your head.
Where's
And
his
so, but
I didn't want to
between,
bring my whole collection, or
between-
we would be here for all night.
I'd be okay with that. I just think Varyar might have an aneurysm, but
Yeah.
there's
I
that.
think he's already had one. He hasn't
That's-
spoken in a while.
There's that.
Wouldn't
was
want to
he-
RivalCast may
upset
not be going
Fearless.
on after all. He
He's
popped in at the start, but he just couldn't handle the combined power that we have, and he ran off, I think.
Well, it's hard for him because, being a military veteran, he comes from that masculine, background. It's just it's hard for him to kind of shift gears into, the idea that, women can be powerful too. So he tries. I mean, he really puts forth the effort most of the time when he's not yelling at you into the staff room. But I still think you handled yourself very well, and with dignity, and I'm not going to mention that he was crying in the bathroom afterwards. So, anyway, so it is 10:32 now. We should probably wrap up. Once again, oh God, I've had too many mimosas tonight.
It happens to all of us.
I know, but
Happens to
thankfully
all of
we're in
us.
our safe zone, so I don't have to go anywhere after this. It's a beautiful thing. We can just talk about shoes all night, whatever. RivalCast goes on live after On Tap ends in just a couple of minutes, so say about 10:45-ish, I think they're planning on going live. They will be going on after On Tap the next couple of Fridays, at least until they figure out what their permanent schedule is going to be, so RivalCast fans, stay tuned for that. Don't forget to check out all the other wonderful shows available through our RivalCast Media Network. If you've missed past episodes of things like Ghost in the Podcast, While Uncensored, Sheep Moon, they are available through the freaking mimosas. They are available through our YouTube channel, youtube.com/RivalCast Media. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Twitter at RivalCast Media, on Facebook, facebook.com/RivalCast without the media. I don't know why we screwed that one up, but anyway. Join us again next week when On Tap welcomes Val to the hot seat. Killer McCoy will be back, and I'm sure he will have all sorts of adventures to talk to us about. And that wraps us up for the evening, ladies and gents. From everyone here at RivalCast Media, I can't say cheers. So, what, Mysti?
One quick thing.
Yes.
I did want to go ahead and do kind of a serious plug for a website.
Oh, yes, definitely. I'm sorry, I
yes.
forgot all about that. Go ahead.
No,
Let
it's all good. So one of the things that's kind of hits our culture a little bit is the gamer girl stereotype. We've got a girl who's playing games and clearly doesn't really know what it is. It's the stereotype at least with it. You've got the girl playing Xbox with the Nintendo controller that a lot of advertisements put
that
out, and there's
works.
just
Come
there's
on.
so much wrong with that. But there's a website called misclicks.com, MISSCLIKS.com. It was started by Anna Prosser and a couple of other girls, and a lot of them are like pro StarCraft players and stuff like that. Anyway, it's a cool website if you're looking for some lady streamers that actually know how to play and can get their game on just like the boys. So misclicks.com, they have a really funny D&D show that they do every week. And they also do, I think, a Heroes of the Storm show as well. So
Nice.
they're also on Twitch TV/misclicks, spelled the same way, MISSCLIKS, and check them out.
Yeah, we should definitely post that up later tonight too after we get
Yeah.
done with the show. So excellent.
Yeah, the whole thing is, promoting what gamer girls are really all about versus what advertising and all that, and that negative stereotype that's kind of it hurts gaming basically by assuming that's how everybody is.
Yeah.
That and Varyar yelling, "Who the fuck are you?" all the time.
Yeah, that too. But I think that's not going to be a problem soon enough. Got the patriarchy smasher.
Yeah,
over here
Varyar,
too.
Mysti's got my back.
This is a beautiful thing. This is why I love having you guys on my show. We need to do this more often. We need to do this with Killer at some point. I think we can.
You think he'd be able to handle this?
I think he would probably cry like a man, but I think his eyes need to be opened. I think this needs to be a thing. But not next week, though, because next week Val's coming, and I've been waiting for a long time for Val to come. And I really hope that Bio came up with some interesting questions, too, because I have no idea
That
what
Bio
to
guy,
talk
don't get me
about.
started on him again.
Again, we'll discuss this after the show. I'm just saying. All right, so that wraps us up for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Again, join us here again next week at 9:30. And from everyone here at RivalCast Media, cheers.